The Obidient Movement purchased land to build a vocational center for the Obidients. The state or the location of the land is not yet revealed, but what you are seeing there is the site where the vocational center will be built. And one of the persons that you are seeing walking on that road is Maurice Monye, who is the mobilization director of the Obidient Movement. He is actually the person that announced the purchase of the land through his verified X account. So the modalities and how the vocational center will run has not been made open. However, it is worthy to note that the vocational center will be a place where obedience will come and learn skill, and which is very beautiful. It is something that the Obidients are beginning to innovate, because from every indication, if you watch Mr. P2B's moves, you will understand that he is looking even beyond his presidency. He is now looking at building the Obidient Movement to become something even beyond him, something beyond even his presidency. And that is why you observe that the Obidient Movement is building offices across Nigeria. So because the purpose now is becoming very clearer, because yes, he will be president by God's grace, but even before he becomes president and after he becomes president, so the Obidient Movement will still be going on. So one of the things that this center will do is to equip obedience so that they will have skill, so that they will be employable, and which is very good. Like the skills to be learned have not been revealed, so we don't know yet the skills that people will be learning there, but I believe there will be skills that are relevant to our today. There will be skills that might have to do with ICT and other relevant skills in Nigeria, and of course globally. So that is what you have in this video. So what you are seeing there is the site for that vocational center, and like I said, it is a beautiful thing, because we are now thinking beyond politics. We are thinking beyond just winning elections. We are thinking about impact. We are thinking about touching lives. We are thinking about giving people hope. We are thinking about making people to become better, which is something that the Obidient Movement actually stands for. So that is what you have there. By the time the building is erected and then the vocational center begins to work, I will be updating you. We will be seeing how the center will be going. But for now, what has been done is only the land. I believe very soon you can see they are clearing that place. Very soon, I believe the building will be coming up, and then the structure that we will have will be coming up, and everything will be taking its shape. Like I said, the state is not yet known and the location is not yet known, which is one thing I am loving about the Obidient Movement these days, because we don't come out these days and just be announcing what we're doing like we used to do before. So now we are becoming more sensible. Not that we were not sensible before, but we are becoming, more sensitive to the environment, because the other time, we opened ourselves up so much. We, let out a lot of information, but now we are just doing things, in a way that you will be seeing our actions, not that we'll be announcing what we want to do. And thank you for your time. And before you go, take out time to watch these beautiful speeches from Mr. P2B. Thank you so much for your time.
My dear people, what I've come to plead with Nigeria, and what I'm saying to Nigeria, I have a simple thing that I'm requesting. My job and what I want to do is to take Nigeria from consumption to production. I said I'll move the country from consumption to production. What I mean by that is that I want to see people wealth with enterprise. So if we say you're wealthy, There must be something you're doing to do. When it comes to, I was a successful businessman, and I was involved in the whole value chain, from agricultural produce to manufacturing to distribution. What people used to see with me is the distributing part of it while I was in business. When I was in trade, I was distributing local goods as well as importing to complement. What is important is that we want to move from, when I talk about consumption to production, is look at the vast land we have in the north. That is the most important physical assets of the country today. If you cultivate all that vast land, we will feed ourselves, we will export. That vast land can change Nigeria. Go and check while I was governor in Anambra State. Whether anybody can tell you that resources of Anambra State was in any way mismanaged. Well, let me say it again.
Yes.
I'm not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I'm not one of those desperate politicians. That is why you don't see me, even when I was contesting even when I contested for the first time to be governor, even in my re-election, it will shock you that during my re-election, people will say, "Sir, now that you're in office, go and ask the 30 member of House that impeached me." We sat down and they said, "If you give us this, we will stop the impeachment in front of everybody." And I can call notable names there. And I said, "I'm not going to give it to you. I'd rather go. My name is Peter Obi. My name is not governor of Anambra State. I'm not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I'm desperate to see Nigeria that works for the youth. We have so much talent and energy here that can change the world. And I want to do that. That's all. It is not about, I want to see a Nigeria where that can generate 30, 40, 50 megawatts of electricity. We can't be in a country where, giant of Africa, for years we cannot generate more than 4,000 megawatts of electricity. Number 2 country in Africa, South Africa, with 60 million people, is generating 54,000. I want to remove Nigeria from consumption to production. This is a country that cannot feed itself with 926,000 square kilometers of land. It cannot feed itself. It cannot happen. I went around the entire country. When you fly anywhere in the world, as you're landing, what you see is farmland. What you see in Nigeria is bare land.
Bare land.
Nothing. I was in Taraba. I was in Taraba. You look at the Mambela Hills, where you can produce all the flowers.
You also have in Taraba.
You can produce coffee. You can produce tea.